Kailangan ba talaga natin magpayaman? Short answer is, it depends. It depends on what you're starting out with and what you decide to do with your life. So, let me take you on a bit of a journey in this video. We will explore the Japanese concept of ikigai and then break down 8 principles to answer the question, kailangan ba talaga nating magpayaman? Welcome to the ATP podcast, where we develop the Filipino ability to produce wealth. Ikigai is a Japanese philosophical term that, if you break it down into two parts, iki meaning life and gai meaning worth. So, ikigai refers to what gives your life worth or value or purpose, meaning. To understand this, you can break it down into 4 parts. So, the first part is what you love. Anything that lights you up, that you love doing. Second part is what the world needs. What is the world calling out for? Ano yung kailangan ng mga tao ngayon? And the third part is what you're good at, or asan ka ba magaling? Where are you skilled at? The fourth part is what you can be paid for. So these 4 components, if you bring them all together, it refers to ikigai. However, sometimes there's only parang partial intersections to it, such as what is the intersection between what you love and what the world needs? You can refer to this as your mission in the world. And some people do it like yung mga charity work, ganyan, yung kawang gawa dito sa Philippines. That's what we do. It's more of a mission thing. So as you can see, the money is not involved there. Next is yung what you love, tapos yung what you're good at. Sobrang galing mo, tapos enjoy na enjoy or love mo yung ginagawa mo. So this is another intersection that we can call your passion. Third is what you're good at, intersecting with what you can be paid for. So ito yung tinatawag natin na profession mo. And then typical professions are like doctor, engineer, nurse, lawyer, ngayon real estate professional, and lahat ng nakalista sa PRC, or the Professional Regulatory Commission, you can kind of call that your profession. Something that you're good at, something that you can be paid for. Then lastly, what the world needs and what you can be paid for. So, kailangan ito talagang merong tawag for this work to be done from other people. They're asking for help in this particular task, and then they are also willing to pay. So, this can be looked at as your vocation, okay, or yung calling mo. And sometimes people can have like a separate profession and a separate mission. Parang they work 9 to 5 dun sa profession nila, tapos separate yun sa kanilang life. And then sometimes, if you are able to really integrate these 4 areas, na lahat yun nako-cover yung what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, then now you're really connecting with your ikigai, or what gives your life value, worth, purpose, and meaning. Okay, so na-gets natin yung concept ng ikigai. The question na kailangan ba talaga natin maging mayaman is just one part of the ikigai equation, as you can see, what you can be paid for. So to have a deeper understanding of what our life's work is, our mission here on earth, then we have to kind of connect to that. And then, once it makes sense to us, kasi some people, talagang calling talaga nila yun, and life's work talaga nila yung maging ultra wealthy, and they have like a specific mission here on earth. Some people, syempre, hindi naman talaga na parang wala ka ng pakialam, and just, ito na talaga yung ikigai ko na, na wala akong gagawin sa buhay. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you cultivate a decent understanding of what really is it you want to do with your life, what is it that you want to build with your life, and then connect to that, and then the resources that make sense to support that life purpose will become evident to you. Makikita mo kung ano talaga ang kailangan mo na i-build sa buhay mo. So now, knowing ikigai, it brings us to this first lesson of contentment, not complacency. So there is a misunderstanding sa word na contentment or pagiging kontento. And I hear it a little bit, no, na parang sometimes mga Pilipino, we think na sige, kontento ka na sa ganyan pa. It's downplaying what you're really capable of. Like parang okay ka na sa ganyan. And there's like a connotation, pero medyo parang crab mentality yung dating niya, di ba? Na parang dito ka na lang, ganyan. Parang ganun na lang. Okay, so I disagree with that. Um, I think what contentment should mean and does mean is there is a sense of vision, and there is a sense of direction, and there is a destination to your life. And contentment means the appreciation of what you have right now, but at the same time, the appreciation of where you're going, the energy you're putting in. Kasi 'di ba, kung hindi mo alam kung saan ka pupunta, then you don't have a vision, you don't have direction. And this is not what contentment is. Kasi if you are putting in the effort to build towards somewhere that you want to go, then you will have that satisfaction every day. Yun ang nagbibigay ng contentment sa atin eh. Na merong progress, merong maliliit na gains na nakikita natin sa life natin. Now, on the other hand, complacency is this illusion thinking that things will continue to be as good as they are without taking any effort or care from you. That's the problem of complacency. And then that's what I think yung negative na connotation dun sa word na contentment, what they actually mean is complacency, thinking that kahit ganito lang ang gawin ko, bare minimum or even nothing, tapos things will continue to be as good as they are. And that's far from reality. That's far from the truth. Because maintaining a certain trajectory in life, kung saan ka pupunta, takes effort, takes care. And I dare say it takes love from you to be able to build a certain life. So, the first lesson talaga is contentment but not complacency. Remember, there is a vision, there is direction, and there is a meaning to what you're doing, where you're headed towards. And of course, you can tie it back to Ikigai, 'di ba? Na kung alam mo yung life's purpose or life's work mo, then you will find contentment in that. And naturally, if you are in this path where you are not complacent, you are taking care of what you need to be taking care of in life, then dare I say, meron ding mga financial rewards na lalabas dyan. It's not that you're forcing it, but it's just a natural result of these things, of not being complacent, of being contented, and that means putting in the effort and the work that you need to be putting in to what you are being called to do. Lesson number 2, making great decisions and avoiding bad ones. So sa word na decision, kita nyo, merong small dyan part dyan na sis. Yung word din is like, it means incision, like meaning cut, like as a surgeon would. So think about it this way. When you make a decision, you're cutting something off. You're saying yes to something and saying no to another thing. Every time you say yes, it means an automatic no to something else. And every time you say no, it's a yes to another possibility in another area of your life. Think about it this way. There's always a duality, a trade-off to that decision. And so decision means it also creates a direction where you're going to go. It's not just like parang a yes no thing. Of course, it impacts your future. How far into the future does it go? Okay, so these are the hallmarks of a good to a great decision. Good decisions, ayan, mga small things that build up over time. Those are little good decisions that you can make. Like what to eat, how you sleep, like what little work decisions you make in a day, putting in good work, ganun. Pero great decisions, they usually take a bit of sacrifice from you, and then they they give you a quantum leap in your future. So, like for example, investing a certain sum of money, like let's say medyo mabigat na yun sa'yo, sabihin natin 1K, 2K, or maybe 5K, depende kung saan ka na situation sa life. Sometimes maybe it's 100K or 1M. Diba? Depende sa'yo kung ano, what does that mean? I'm going to be putting in like, let's say 100K into this decision or this venture that I'm trying to build. Pero I'm projecting that it's going to net me like at least 1M in the next 3 years. I think that's a great decision. It's risky, And depends, 'di ba? Parang meron siyang kailangan mo din ma-understand kung gaano ba kataas or kababa yung risk level ng decision mo. Pero that looks like it could be a great decision if you just look at it that way. Yung meron ba siyang future potential ba? Tapos, it also creates common good. It's not just for you lang, parang puro lang ikaw ang mag-benefit. That doesn't sound like a good decision to me or even a great one. Like it benefits the common good. That's another hallmark that you need to look into. And then you also need to kind of consider the emotional ups and downs as you make a decision. Kasi parang sometimes kailangan natin mag-zoom out and then see what emotions will come out of this decision. Kasi parang sa start, diba, I will feel pretty happy about it and then sad and up and down kasi yung emotion eh. Pero the decision, what kind of emotional impact will it make? That's also another consideration that we need to look into. And then, of course, there's also this aspect of it's not at the unwilling expense of other people. Na kumbaga, sa decision mo, na-impact sila pero wala silang say. Like, they didn't have a say in it. You just negatively impacted their life without them having a say in it. And that's I think is a bad decision. So you want to avoid that one. I mean, sure, sometimes there are sacrifices involved to things, and it's a different perspective if you're a leader and if you're a follower, and in a business organization. There's so many things that you need to consider. But in the context of personal finances, at least consider yung immediate mo na environment, which is usually your family. Now, how does it tie into the question of, building wealth, or kailangan ba talaga natin magpayaman, right? Like, if you make great life decisions, it will naturally blossom into good monetary decisions. What do I mean? It ties into the concept of self-leadership. Kung saan ka pupunta sa life, kung saan mo dadalhin yung sarili mo, your money will naturally follow. So, I'll give you some examples. Hindi naman siya parang extreme na parang dapat no talaga ito, no? Parang just gain some perspective from this is what I'm saying. So a few examples would be, for example, getting into recreational gambling, drug use, alcoholic consumption, ganon. No? Yung mga parang kung sa ibang tao, obvious na yun siya, pero sa ibang tao, kasi ito, enjoy, masaya, ganon. So, hindi naman siya like, obviously, yung illegal drug use, illegal talaga siya by law. However, like for example, gambling or alcohol, hindi siya ganun ka parang clear-cut na line. But what I'm trying to say is, once you dabble into that, you're like one step away. Like, andyan ka na eh. So you're trying it, you're enjoying it recreationally or casually, pero you're one step away. Especially sa gambling na parang one step away ka na lang to a downward spiral of like getting addicted to the rush of winning money and then losing it, and then it's a cycle, and then I'm not sure if you've heard about stories na people losing everything that they worked for because of their gambling addiction or problems, okay? And I don't want any of us to experience that, especially you listening to this podcast and myself and my family. I don't want us to experience that kind of stress or problem created by gambling. Next is alcohol consumption. Yeah, I mean, because I can kind of speak to it because I went through a period in my life wherein I consumed alcohol heavily. Na parang every night, ganun talaga na level. Tapos, mataas yung quantity. As in, yeah, hindi na masyado ako mag-elaborate. But, and now, hindi ko na siya i-elaborate masyado kung gaano kadami. But at this stage in my life, I decided that I don't want to experience that anymore. I don't want to consume alcohol. So, actually, more than 450 days na ako na as in zero, like not one drop of alcohol I drank. Pero these are choices that we make in life. And pansin nyo guys, doon lang ako dun sa substance and sa activity nag-focus. Pero there's a deeper element to this, which is, sino ba yung mga friends mo? Sino ba yung parang top 5 people na nag-influence sa life mo? Kasi mas mas ano talaga yung impact ng mga friends natin sa ating life decisions. So, kung hinihila ka ng mga kaibigan mo na, okay, let's gamble here and then let's drink here, medyo may social pressure to try, for example, yung mga things sa mga things that usually you wouldn't do yourself. It's actually it's a social influence. Perhaps it's your family influencing you to do, and these are things that I want you to be aware of. Makita mo lang ba na medyo parang napupush ako to become a bit more materialistic with the perspectives that my friends have, and I don't like that. Some people, they like it, no? Parang yun ang gusto nila sa life. So fine, so be it. Pero what I'm trying to emphasize really is awareness and knowing na these are influences in my life na pwede ko siya i-cut off if I so decide, so that I can make good to great life decisions. Kasi sometimes hindi na siya nakakatulong sa akin eh. So I have to kind of, maybe if not a complete cut off, like a temporary pause in this season, because I need to make certain decisions in my life. And so, as you can see, it's a principle. If you make good life decisions, then naturally money decisions will follow. And becoming wealthy monetarily will just be a consequence. It's not like what you're running after. All right. Third lesson, you harvest what you plant. So kung ano yung reality mo sa life ngayon, kung ano man yung na-experience mo ngayon sa life, it's most likely a consequence of what you've planted in the past. Now, syempre, merong ibang things na na-experience mo sa life ngayon na ibang tao nagplant nun. Most probably our parents, our relatives, and everybody else who's in our community. Sila nagtanim nun, di ba? Na-experience natin sa life natin ngayon. Pero yung mga pinaka-important and pinaka-impactful na things sa ating life, especially as you become an adult and like have more agency and autonomy to make decisions, kung ano man yung na-experience mo ngayon, it's something that you planted in the past. And if you don't like what you're experiencing right now, then what do you need to do? You just need to change what you're planting right now, and then you can expect a different harvest later on. This is a concept that we need to understand. Guys, kung nagtanim ka ng mango seed, would you expect to harvest a durian fruit later on 5 years down the road? Of course not. You'd expect na it will become a mango tree, and then you can harvest mangoes 5 years, maybe 7, 10 years down the line. Diba? And then you can expect continuing a harvest. So in the same way, kung ano man yung tinatanim natin sa life, especially when it comes to our work, our knowledge, and then moving up to our skills, kung ano yung tinatanim natin doon, if we're using it to create results that our customers and clients want and need, our employers want and need, okay? So it will naturally produce a harvest of trustworthiness and good relationships, and then good relationships taken care of, they naturally produce a harvest of more resources coming your way, because people naturally want to trust you with more. 'Di ba? Kasi alam nila meron ka ng na magaling ka, no? Meron kang mabibigay sa kanila na return with what they're trusting you with. And then moving a bit further, that can produce a harvest of a very strong and powerful reputation, which will eventually precede you. Now, the opposite can also be true, di ba? If you plant neglect and yung kumbaga not doing what you say you would do, or parang just flat out ghosting people or being flaky or not being trustworthy, 'di ba? Medyo hindi ka magaling sa ginagawa mo, walang skills or walang kulang sa knowledge. So, yun din ang impression and yun din ang i-harvest mo. Yun kasi ang tinatanim eh. So, yun ang ma-harvest. So, guys, the principle is do not expect something na hindi mo tinanim. It can be applied even to like basic relationships, such as me being a father, for example. One seed that I try to plant every day in my family is just saying good morning to my wife and my son. And this was already a seed that kind of kumbaga positions us to have a kind of a good morning together. And then listening to what they need, asking questions about how I can support them. And then in the evening, praying together, saying good night to my son and my wife, gives them like another seed na parang okay, it's gonna be okay, things are gonna be okay. Parang ganun lang, mga little things like that. Like, meron siyang ganun na application, pero meron din siyang application sa practical and sa work, sa trabaho mo, sa corporate, ganyan, sa business mo, and of course, sa finances mo. So this concept of you harvest what you plant connects to the question of kailangan ba talaga natin magpayaman? Hindi sa kailangan natin, pero kung ano yung tinatanim natin, siyang aanihin. And it will just naturally happen. Kung ano yung tinatanim mo, it's not a surprise. Okay, after 3 lessons, here's one bonus one. Seeing opportunities. Okay? Knowing and understanding what opportunities are. And you can tie this to your ikigai once again. So let me ask you this. How many red cars did you see yesterday? Can you give me a definite answer to that question? Can you say, I think 3 or 5, maybe something like that. Maybe I think around 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm not sure, man. Because you weren't looking for them. But how about if I ask you, okay, starting today, I'm going to give you 10,000 pesos for every red car that you see outside. How open would your eyes be in looking for red cars outside? You would be out there searching for all these red cars, right? Because like every red car that I see, 10K, count me in. And this is how the opportunities in life are. Like if you can't tell them for what they are, they would just kind of pass you by. And you're just moving forward, going through life, but all these opportunities are passing you by. But if you can see them for what they are, recognize them for what they are, once you see that red car, you will see it for what it is and grasp it and make of it what you will. That's kind of like the another kind of point of wisdom that we need to see, and that we need to put to practice in order for us to build this concept of wealth. Okay, fourth lesson, it's about leading a quiet life. What does a quiet life mean? Does it mean you just, go in the corner and just sit there and be quiet and never speak your mind that's not what I mean. What I mean with a quiet life is you know exactly where you're going. You know what you want to create, what kind of life you want to create for yourself and your family. And everything else that doesn't support this is noise. And you will gently, if not very directly, confront this and take it out of your life. This is what I mean by leading a quiet life. Because, of course, you will speak and communicate, and a life cannot be made quiet and rich and substantial without communication. That's just literally impossible. Like, you have to communicate one way or the other. And so, a quiet life doesn't mean a life that is absent of noise, but rather a quiet life knows that how to deal with all this noise in life. And speaking of noise, motorcycle sa labas, um and how to deal with all the noisy things outside. And it can be in any profession, right? Like you can be a carpenter, a fisherman, a soldier, a policeman, doctor, lawyer, anything, like businessman. You can choose any path in life. And if this is really what you want and your soul calling, and this ikigai, tying to this ikigai, you embrace this calling and live as such, then you will find fulfillment in this. And monetarily, what does this mean? Of course, since you cut out the unnecessary things, then the money is there. It's quietly doing what it needs to do for you. All right. Lesson number 5 that I learned is energy management. So aside from being able to learn how to do some time management, which is basically looking at your calendar, the deeper part of it also is how are you managing your energy? Now, for every person, there is like a certain cycle of energy that happens every day. Usually, kung sa mga lalaki, parang daily yon. Tapos kung sa mga babae, monthly ang kanilang energy cycle, if you catch my drift. So there's an energy cycle that you need to understand. And then knowing this, where are you going to budget that energy? Where are you going to put it into? So you have to understand that some areas in life na pinaglalagyan natin ng energy, they don't give us much return back. Like usually they just take and they just suck the life force out of you, and you will know what these activities are because wala silang balik, no? Hindi sila nagbibigay ng energy back to you or any kind of compensation whatsoever, such as the clearest representation is money, monetary rewards. So, yun namang trabaho natin, di ba? Like when we work, when we create products, when we do business, when we serve people and get help them get what they want and what they need, then they would exchange their money for that service. So money is just a representation essentially of human energy, and the more you help people to create an advantageous position in terms of their energy, then the more energy you will also get back. And mapansin mo kung economical ka sa use ng energy, meron kang deficit. Like kung grabe ka magamit ng energy tapos konti lang yung ginabalik mo, no? So grabe ka magamit, so meron kang deficit, and that's what happens when you spend too much and not make enough. So you live beyond your means. This is another way of seeing it. It's managing your energy, and that's reflected in your schedule. Kasi 'di ba, pwede ka nang mag-schedule ng all sorts of activities, but what quality of your presence are you giving into these activities? Limited lang kasi ang energy natin eh. So, yun ang kailangan natin tingnan. Kung asan ba natin nilalagay yung energy natin, tapos maganda ba yung pinaglalagyan natin? This is energy management, guys. This is another thing that I learned slowly as I try to understand. And this brings me to the next point, which is to number your days. No? Lesson number 6 is to number your days and understand that where your season of life is. Kasi guys, kung hindi nyo alam, the average age for the Filipino citizen right now is around 70 to 72 years old, somewhere there. No, estimates vary, but like it's in the early 70 years old. So, kung alam mo na yun ang average na age, and well, average means 90-95% of the population. So yung kung hindi ka outlier na ano parang earlier or later, depende na lang talaga, pero meron tayong understanding na ito yung average. So kung merong limit ang life, merong limit ang energy, yung tanong is saan ko ba ilalagay yung naiwan na years sa life ko and yung naiwan na energy? Where am I going to put it? This is another question that is worth answering in your in this journey of understanding your ikigai and answering the question, kailangan ko ba talaga yumaman? Because let's say, for example, you are in the midpoint of life, wherein like you're 35 and you're starting out a family, ganun ka na klase na season sa life, then iba din yung perspective mo, iba yung pananaw mo sa kung saan dapat ilagay yung mga araw na meron ka, 'di ba? Kasi yun nga, na-remember mo na, oh, hindi pala infinite itong buhay, meron pala siyang limit. And then, let's say, i-compare naman natin dun sa person na nasa early 20s niya. For example, he or she has around like 50 years pa ahead of him or her. Iba din yung perspective niya. Pero, knowing this and understanding this concept early on in your life na numbered ang ating days dito on earth will give you more perspective and understanding how valuable the opportunity is of your years, months, weeks, and days. Like today, as you're watching this video. Meta. Then we move on to lesson number 7, which is keeping what you make and how to budget. Now, I already talked about this a little bit earlier sa energy management. It's more of increasing your income and keeping more of what you make. Kasi hindi lahat ng araw abunda. Hindi lahat ng araw harvest, 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 harvest. So, meron talagang reality sa life na akyat baba ang season. And if hindi natin ito ma-anticipate, we do not have the foresight to see this, then we will just keep spending and spending and spending and not having the wisdom to understand that life doesn't go that way. It doesn't work this way. Our strength, as grateful as we are that it's with us now, it will eventually, at some point, it will fade. If we don't take care of it properly, it will fade earlier. If you take care of it well, it can last for a very long time. Pero meron talagang limit ang life, di ba? So, it is with that understanding that we need to know now we need to have prudence when it comes to taking care of the resources that we have. We need to see kung saan dapat natin ilagay ang mga resources in a way na it can give us some passive returns, such as yung mga, let me again outline it, high interest, the savings accounts, UITF, stocks, REITs, real estate, what else? Businesses that you can cultivate, yung mga ganun na klase na things na can give you a certain monetary return. And then of course, learning two things, how to make more income and how to take care of the budget that you currently have just by simply planning every month, just by simply planning, organizing, directing, and controlling where your money goes every month. So dapat meron yan siyang at least a monthly cycle of things, and you can revisit it weekly, but usually the most effective style is monthly, and then another annual review of things, no finances. Ganun lang talaga pag budgeting. It's like awareness and understanding your current needs, your family's needs, your emotional status, your emotional responses to things, and not allowing external voices to cloud your ability to make good decisions. So the budget, this plan helps you to achieve that. Some kasi life talaga, it happens that life throws you things na unexpected or parang medyo ma-destabilize ka. But having a plan, the beauty of it is you have something to come back to. No, so alam talaga natin na ma-off ka talaga sa iyong plan. Pero kung may plan ka, then meron kang babalikan. And that's the beauty of it, like having something predetermined or something that you thought about ahead. So, budgeting, that's another thing in the learning how to budget and knowing how to create your own budget. That's another thing in the wealth journey. In the journey of trying to answer this question, kailangan ko ba talaga yumaman? And ikigai, my life purpose. Last lesson, my lesson number 8 is be pleasant, but don't be a people pleaser. I already talked about this earlier in the other point that I made about making good and bad decisions. I spoke about it a little bit, pero yeah, it's this distinction that I made when I discovered na trying to please other people around you. And of course, we want people to have like a good opinion, a high regard of us, diba? Especially if it's coming from a sincere place na you really have done a lot of good in their lives, and naturally they will have a high opinion of you and a high view of you. Pero if we seek material ways to try and manipulate this perspective of us na parang kailangan natin na yun ang need natin to validate who we are, then that's where you start to become like a people pleaser. Like doon galing yung confidence mo ba? Pero kung sa different place galing yung confidence mo, and this can and for people iba-iba ang ano natin, pero sometimes it's what we've done throughout our entire life. This can be like a source of confidence for us. For other people, it's like the more spiritual roots na kung baga meron silang deep faith, di ba? So for other people, they believe in their ancestors. Some people, they believe in God. Some people iba-iba ng beliefs, no, na belief systems. Pero the point that I'm trying to make is it's about you deciding what you want to create in life, and ano yung i-accept mo sa buhay mo, ano yung truths na i-hold mo dear sa heart mo, and then you live it out. So ano ba yung mga parang values and yung value system na i-uphold mo, and then you decide, I want to be kind, I want to be gentle, I want to be pleasant to deal with. O 'di ba? Ikaw nag-decide nun, galing yun sa'yo. It's coming out from there. And then you, of course, you also decide healthy boundaries to help guide people on how they deal with you and not walk over you. Diba? Hindi ka lang parang, kumbaga, hindi ka din basta-basta. No? Pero pleasant ka to deal with, but you're not a people pleaser. Meaning, regardless kung ano yung sasabihin nila sa'yo, ito talaga ako eh. Ganito talaga yung gusto ko na way na ako mabuhay. So I don't necessarily have to try and influence your opinion. Your opinion will be your opinion, but this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be, and this is who I am deciding to be, and this is who I will be. No, so that's the difference. Like being pleasant to deal with, but not being a people pleaser. And if you do that, then, 'di ba, hindi ka na ma-influence kung kailangan ko magsuot ng mga mamahalin na damit, or kung ano-anong mga things to try and impress certain people in life, like maybe family, maybe friends, who knows, like kung kailangan mo magpa-throw ng engrande talaga na party just to celebrate something, which is hindi naman necessary. Just to be frank, like hindi naman kailangan na super bongga talaga if hindi yun ang gusto mo, di ba? Hindi yun ang katayuan mo sa buhay, hindi yun ang gusto mo, then don't try to be something you're not. Like if ang kaya lang talaga sa ngayon is like a simple dinner with like the very few family members, or yung talaga yung pinaka lang talaga, immediate family lang talaga, di ba? Parang ito yung kaya natin, and this is what we're gonna embrace, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's room for celebration even in the tiniest moments like that. And I'd venture to say sometimes it's more like it's deeply more meaningful if it's like that, diba? So it's up to us to make these choices in life. And nakita nyo guys na if you apply the principles, no, parang meron kasi siyang good side and bad side to applying these principles or these lessons. So if you go down the other path, naturally mahirapan ka sa finances, kasi that's how principles are. If you apply them a certain way, they will yield a certain result. So if you apply it the other way around, na with the understanding and sound judgment na okay, ganito yung result niya naturally. So your finances will naturally follow. And the answer to that is hindi ba sa kailangan ko yumaman. It's not surprising even anymore, kasi you have applied certain things in your life. And that's my hope. It's not about answering the question na kailangan ko ba yumaman, pero am I truly living the life that I want to live, and that I want to embody and truly live in my numbered days here on earth? And if the answer to that is a resounding yes, then I feel like you're in the right path already, and like we are in this journey together, of just living things out. Now, my final word is today, since if you reach this far in the ATP Wealth Podcast, I will always come back to the ability to produce wealth. And if you develop your ability to produce wealth, be that in the monetary aspect, in the relationship aspect, in the health aspect, in the spiritual aspect of life, then you will bring out wealth in all these areas. And mind you, if they start to integrate like the spiritual side of things, your relationships, your health, your work, the way you take care of the resources around you, the physical resources, if they are all integrated, then they become such a powerful force, an integrated life that you can have all the satisfaction and fulfillment, even if it's not necessarily overflowing with monetary wealth. Syempre, meron talagang parang baseline na ito yung gusto ko sa life ko, and in my purpose and in my life purpose. Pero if that's very clear to you, and you know where you're going, you know where you're sailing with the ship of your life, then man, oh man, that is the life that would be super satisfying and fulfilling. And I do hope that I've encouraged you to find that path, and to be on that path, and to live it out, no, in your own journey. So as we explore the ability to produce wealth. I'm just so grateful that you're with me here, and I hope that we can continue to explore other topics that you are interested in. So my simple request is comment something that has impacted you in this video. Like if you like the video, of course, don't hold yourself back. Like it, and if it really means a lot to you, then of course, please do subscribe to the ATP Wealth Podcast and my YouTube channel. So thank you so much, guys, for today. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next episode.